Fellow auto detailers, welcome to the show that features interviews with today's most successful auto detailers. This is the Auto Detailing Podcast. Here's your host, Jimbo Balaam.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I'm excited for this week's episode. I feel like I say that every week, but I really am excited for this week because, brought Pete back on, and we talk about a referral program that you can literally implement today for free. We talk about the strategy. If you listen to this entire episode, we lay out the strategy of how you can get literally an endless stream of referrals day after day if you really wanted to. So I'm excited for that. Definitely if you're hurting for business, and this can apply in different industries and niches as well. So maybe you detail as a side hobby and you're in sales or a different industry other than detailing. You could take this same approach across multiple industries, which makes it so exciting. And it doesn't cost you any money. It just costs a little bit of your time. But if you're looking for more clients, this is definitely going to be an episode for you. And of course, big thanks to autofiber.com for sponsoring this episode. And something interesting happened to me this week. There was a bigger company that reached out to me that needed applicators because their current supplier of applicator pads was a few months out of stock. So the guy reached out and he said, "Hey, who is your supplier of microfiber towels, and do they have applicators?" And I said, "Yep, it's autofiber.com. They definitely have applicators," and the deal was made. I believe. Actually didn't follow up on see if the deal was made, but I'm sure it was because the guys over at autofiber.com are killing it in the customer service department, which is another aspect that I will maybe talk about next week, customer service. So check out autofiber.com. You could save 20% on your purchase and get free shipping if you use my code. That is code Jimbo at checkout. And of course, there's the Jimbo kit of an assortment of towels and a couple scrub pads that I handpicked as well. So check them out, autofiber.com. Use code Jimbo if you desire to help me and track those sales. That'd be great. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode on referrals and how to get more of them and really create an endless stream of referrals that doesn't really cost you any money. All right, here we go. All right, welcome to episode 295, a very hot and steamy episode, not because of what we're going to talk about, but maybe because of what we're going to talk about, but because of the weather, Pete. And Pete is back by popular demand. For those people who really know him, they want more.
Back popular demand, but only from some.
Only from some.
Everybody except for like one person.
Yes, and we're going to talk about you, one person. Just kidding. Pete, are you currently eating right now?
No, I'm not currently eating.
Okay, you're not currently eating, and I already know that you don't want to talk about what you had for any meal.
Can you mic check for me? What did you have for lunch there, Jimbo?
You know what was funny? After the last episode we did a few weeks ago went live about that whole spiel in the Voxer group, the closed Voxer group for the DetailerInnerCircle.com guys. Yes, we are starting with shameless plugs
advertisement
and the blatant advertisement. But there was some people chiming in on that, so that was good. So Pete, welcome back. First of all,
thank you.
You're very welcome. And before we really get into this episode, I think there's something that we need to clear up. Do you want to tell everyone what that is?
I don't think we need to clear up anything.
There was something that was maybe brought to our attention that wasn't very clear, that we thought was very clear.
No, I can't even say that. I literally can say it was one guy. Like, Jimbo knows this about me. I work with a lot of different groups, and I've told him, I go, man, I don't know if it's your listeners or the marketplace as a whole. Detailers are by far the coolest people that I work with.
Okay, let me clear that up for you, Pete. It's definitely our group because other detailers listening will know detailers are ruthless. You got to be careful with the pictures you post, what you say to other detailers, because they will cut you. So I honestly think that it's just the group, which has been I was surprised when he told me, but it was a really good surprise because I feel like we have the best group in the world then.
Oh no, it's by far. Like I get a lot of hate mail and it usually makes me all laugh. And but see, the problem with me is, and I openly admit this, I'm the guy who's like, oh, you want to meet me after school at 3:00? Let's go fight, man. You want a piece of me? Let's go.
Yeah, you don't shy away from controversy.
I hate it, dude. I hate it about myself. Like, someone comes after me, I just want to, like, let's go. Let's box, right? It's just like, that's my first instinct. And no, so I was joking with you because we've literally only had one guy who's been, like, totally out of his mind. Like, I don't even know how else to put it. We were literally passing his email around my office to all my staff. I'm like, you got to see what this guy wrote, man. Look at this. I'm like, he's pathetic. And all I'm doing, like, emailing back to him is LOL. Classic. You're so awesome. Because it was like we talked in the video, in the Detailer Inner Circle video, we talked about what we called freebie-seeking knuckleheads. You remember that? We're like, the whole reason why the Detailer Inner Circle is not free is we're trying to get rid of the freebie-seeking knuckleheads. And I was like, dude, you're actually the definition of what we were trying to get rid of and don't want in our group.
Right.
And it was this guy. It was so funny.
Because the group, the Detailer Inner Circle group, is meant, we want to get stuff done. And we want guys to be profitable and make money and really learn how to scale this thing and make it profitable. And I think we talked about this a little bit last time, but that's one of the most exciting things for me is that, you know, there really hasn't been, you know, someone to come out and be like, look, let me show you how to scale this thing. There's no one doing that, you know, so anyway, I went on that soapbox last time. But today we're going to be talking about something that's really prevalent and really the backbone of a lot of detailing businesses, and that's referrals. Right? And a lot of businesses, but detailing specifically, you know, we live and eat and breathe off of referrals. That's a huge aspect of our business. So you want to kick us off with what you had to say about referrals?
You know what? I'll say this. I'll say a couple of different things. One, I'm going to give everyone a really good idea. And it actually, well, how do I put this? I was reading an old Facebook post from like 2015. It reminded me of this idea, and I was like, man, this is a great idea.
Was this your own post?
No, I was actually reading someone else's. And it's something that I used to talk about a lot. In fact, in the Detailing for Profits course, which we give away for free.
Nice. For free. That is free.
When you join the Detailer Inner Circle, for the idiot out there, the one guy who's like, you never told me I had to join something. Yeah.
You, see, I'm the exact opposite of you, Pete. I shy away from, I want to say controversy, but it's not controversy. It's freaking... Conflict, you know, or I shy away from it, whereas my wife is very into conflict, and I'm like, she'll make it, we'll walk by, say we're at like an outdoor strip mall or whatever, and she sees something or someone she doesn't like what they're doing, she'll walk past them and like pretend like she's whispering about them, but says it loud enough that they could hear her, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, you said that really loud. They could hear you. You know?
I sometimes do that, but I don't do it a lot. I
thought you were going to say you don't do it enough.
No, because I actually don't like that about me. Like, I don't like that someone comes up against me and
confrontation. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't like it. Yeah, I want to be just like, you know, the guy who's just sitting there smoking pot going, that's cool, dude, whatever you want. But I'm not. Like, I'm not that way. But
sorry to interrupt your whole train of thought.
Yeah, no. I totally get that. Here's what I was going to say about your wife's thing. I usually won't do that to people who haven't directly confronted me. Like, I let them be the aggressor.
Okay.
And then once they do it to me, then it's on. For the most part.
Which is kind of, you know, interestingly enough for me, like, I try to play, like, really cool and laid back and not really confrontational at all. But it's like I'm situational. I'm situational. Like, if you come at me with my family, like, you're out. You know, like, and I've told you that one story about a guy who kind of came after my daughter, and I was like, you know what? I don't even need to respond to you. You're just done. Like, you're dead to me. I don't even care about you anymore. You know, so there are like passionate things where I will like I'll kill someone.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I can't tell the story. I won't tell the story of what niche this was in, but I work in a lot of different niches. And this is a niche that, as I've shared with you, I get lots of hate mail from this niche. Well, this guy goes on Facebook and does a tirade over 3 or 4 posts. He's putting memes. I mean, he's doing everything. And, I have Facebook set up where it just automatically emails me certain things. So as soon as it comes in, I literally, because it was on one of my Facebook pages, I can delete all of his comments and ban him, right? So I delete all of his comments, and then he messages me, and he writes this really long thing, and he's attacking me personally, attacking me professionally, everything. And I was actually so happy at how I handled it, because all I wrote back is I go, hey, thanks for your thoughts, and then I ban him, and I could see he's typing messages, but he can't send it to me because he's been banned. I was man, it's that actually, I was proud of myself, because all I was doing was hey, thanks for your thoughts, man. Man,
right. Yeah.
You're out. Life's too short to deal with those people.
Totally. It's like YouTube comments, it sounds like, Oh,
yeah. Well, it's Facebook, same thing.
Pretty much, I actually had a guy just last week commented on one of my YouTube videos of which is ironic that we're bantering so much back and forth right now, because he commented wow, this episode could have been 45 minutes shorter if you would have just cut out all the banter, and I commented
but you listened to all of it. Yeah, so you must have enjoyed it on some level.
Or you were worried about missing out on something, right? So that's, right. I feel like we've gone too long. Detailer@innercircle.com. Anyway, so I commented thanks for your feedback, move along, or something like that. And he actually took the time to comment back and be sorry, man, I just and he kind of wrote a paragraph about why he made that comment, and then apologized, and then gave a couple reasons or a couple ways that I could fix it or make it better. And I was wow,
I actually don't mind that.
Respect.
Yeah. I don't care if people differ or disagree with me on anything. And detailers got to deal with this all the time, right? Where it's I know you deal with this. How dare you use acid on someone's rims and, all that stuff. And the way I kind of look at it is I don't really care if someone disagrees with me. Just don't be rude about it.
Totally. Hold on. Okay. You're going to have to deal with Mom right now, okay? All right. So let's get into I'm leaving that in, by the way, Pete. This is real life. Okay.
Hey, let me tell you how you can fix that, Jimbo. It's called editing.
I was kind of hoping you'd roll with it since we are doing the video, but obviously that's okay. So,
love it, man.
So let's talk about referrals.
Everyone right now is he's totally ignoring his daughter.
Totally ignoring her and looking for my wife. So let's go on about what you were going to talk about with referrals.
Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. In week 6 of Detailing for Profits, that whole training that we do, I think we give 30 to 50 different referral strategies. I just remember when you and I did that original training, there was strategy after strategy after strategy to get referrals. So here's what I saw on Facebook, and I was man, this is such a good idea. In fact, I do a mastermind group on Saturdays. And so I brought it up with everyone on there. I'm guys, I need to walk you through this because it's something that I used to talk about a lot, and I haven't talked about it in a while. So there's a guy I know by the name of Joe Polish. Joe Polish is this really big marketer guy, and he bought a Tesla. And so he got this email from Elon Musk. This is back in 2005. I don't know if they're still doing this. And Elon, of course, besides starting Tesla and SpaceX and PayPal back in the day, it used to be called X.com. He's the guy is he operates on a totally different level. And when they started PayPal, they were trying to figure out how could they do advertising because they needed to get people to start using PayPal. And it was too expensive to advertise. It was too expensive to do promotions with banks and stuff like that. So they're man, what can we do where we can attract clients, users to the system? And they knew that they needed to get to a point where it's now you almost have to have PayPal because everyone else has it. And it's too easy to get and give money. But you have to reach that point, right, where everybody's using PayPal.
Is that critical mass?
Yeah, I can't remember the technical term for it, but basically that's the idea of it. You got to have a large enough network where everyone in it, it's like you have to be a part of the network.
Right.
So what they did was, and you guys might remember this from back in the day, though I don't know, a lot of people who listen are probably really young, so maybe they don't. But PayPal did this deal where it was like they would give, if you referred someone who signed up for an account with PayPal, they would give you $10, and they would give the person who was referred in $10. And they went from 0 to 100,000 users in 30 days, and now they've got like over, well, I don't know what it is now, but it went basically using that system, they went to 100 million users. Wow. And here's the idea behind it. 1-800-Flowers did a test, and they're like, okay, how can we acquire clients? Because this is the same problem that detailers have. How do I acquire more clients?
It's the number one problem detailers have, by far. The number one.
So these, on the internet, they're called affiliates. In life, they're called referrals, but it's all kind of the same thing. And so 1-800-Flowers did this test, and their test was, we're going to, everyone you refer in, we're going to give that person $10 off their next order. And then they tested that against, okay, everyone you refer in, we're going to give you $10 if they become a client. And then they tested that against, okay, everyone you refer in, we're going to give them $5 and we're going to give you $5. And what they found was that the one where they gave each party $5 ended up way outperforming the other two.
Interesting.
And part of it is because some people are like, well, you know what, I feel kind of guilty. I'm making money off of my buddy who I referred into this.
Right.
The other one, it could be, well, yeah, sure, okay, my buddy Jimbo gets $10, but what about me? That doesn't do anything, doesn't put any scratch in my pocket. So they found by splitting it up, a same amount of dollars, it got them way more business. So that was the same idea that Elon Musk had with PayPal. And it grew their company dramatically. And basically what they did was, I think when they started, it was actually $20. It was $20 to you, $20 to them. So it cost them $40 to acquire a new client. Then they took it down to 10 and 10. So then it was $20 to acquire a new client. And then as it got bigger, it went down to 5 and 5. And then they basically started making you do more and more things. Like when they started, it was like, hey, just give us an email and your name. And that was like email, name, bank account, all that kind of stuff. Because they were reaching critical mass using that term, where they had enough people on the network. So Elon sends out this email to all the owners of Tesla, and he basically says, this is something we did with PayPal, and it worked over there. I don't know if it's going to work with Tesla, but we're going to test it. And here's what we're going to do. We've got these stores. We don't pay for any product placement. We don't pay for any advertisement. We've just got these stores. But the stores aren't cheap. It costs us $2,000 to sell a car. Meaning operating the stores, the commission. If there is commission, I don't even know. Actually, I don't think there is commission to the salespeople.
Really?
Yeah, because I read a Elon Musk autobiography, or biography rather, a couple months back. And so he's like, it costs us $2,000. So here's what we're going to do. Everyone that you refer in that buys a Tesla, we're going to give them $1,000 off, and we're going to give you $1,000 in your account, which you can use towards your next Tesla, upgrades you want to make, accessories, whatever you want. And so, yeah, no, right, pretty cool idea. But the only thing that I didn't like about the email is they capped it at 10. They're like, you can only, and I'm looking at that going, okay, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you cap it at 10? Let's say, the Tesla costs $80,000, but I'm just going to make math easy. Let's just say it's $100,000. I know they got the cheaper one now. It's still going to take forever to get one, right? But, let's say it's $100,000. Do you really care if I refer in 100 people at $100,000? Because that would be, what is that?
It's still costing you $2,000 to sell every Tesla. So why cap it? Because what does it matter?
Exactly. And that's 10. Like, I helped you make $10 million.
Right.
Right. And you had to give me a free car, which does not cost you $100,000. That's what you're selling it for.
That's retail value.
Yeah. So I didn't understand why he's capping it, only that I did understand it in terms of PayPal. Because when they did it with PayPal, like, it was just you joined, right? They didn't make any money yet. They had just got people to join and they were paying them. But it didn't make sense to me with Tesla because you would have already made money. You've actually sold a vehicle. There's profit there.
Right.
And like you said, it still costs you $2,000. So I was explaining this on my mastermind call, And I was telling the guys that I coach on there, I'm like, you got to think about this. How can I take this idea and apply it to my own business? And we'll come back around to the detailers, because I think in detailing it's really, really simple. Obviously, you can already kind of think of the ideas of what you can do with that. But another example of this is Dropbox. Like, do you use Dropbox?
I do. I actually use Dropbox Business. I pay for it. I have the upgraded one.
Yeah. So when Dropbox came out, they were advertising it, and it was costing them $300 to acquire a client. The problem with that is it's only $99 a year.
Right.
So that means they're losing money for 3 years on someone, praying that technology doesn't change and people don't need you anymore, which now there's like Google Drive, there's WeSendIt, there's like so many different services
Still
out there.
Dropbox better. I know that's a side note, but there's something about, I use Google Drive too, and I don't know if you used Google Drive, but Dropbox is so much better.
The reason why I use Dropbox is because I got almost a terabyte of material in it. It's like,
wow.
It's my second hard drive, right? That's where you save everything.
Exactly. Sorry.
So, so the point is that's when they came up with the idea of let's do the referral strategy. Let's you might remember back in the day, it was like if you referred your friends, you got an extra gig.
I think they still have something that they run, some promotion I saw.
They might, but I've been with them for so long, and I can't find anyone who doesn't have Dropbox. I can't refer them to it anymore. But I remember when it first came out, dude, I was like, oh, here, let me give you some files. You need to sign up for Dropbox, right? Because I'm like, I wanted the free space.
Right, like I'm making money off this and getting free space. Yeah.
Great. So then that's what they figured, and their company just exploded. Harry's on the internet. So Harry that does all the razors and stuff.
Yep.
They built out all their infrastructure. They had their own razor making company, wherever the heck that is in the world. They had everything all set up. They're like getting ready to start to flip the switch, turn on the website, and someone's like, "Hey, how exactly are we going to advertise this?" Like they hadn't even thought through how they're going to advertise their business. And so they came up with they had at the time this whole web strategy where you referred people in, and the more people that got referred in got on their email list, you got more swag. So it was I can't even remember what it was, but you could get a free razor, and then it was a free shaving cream if it 10 people signed up using your affiliate link. And these weren't even sales necessarily. They were just literally building a list.
Right.
But again, they went from 0 to something like 100,000 people in 7 days that were on their list by using this whole idea of, let's get other people to promote our deal. And as a detailer,
can we talk about the? Sorry to interrupt you again. I'm really good at interrupting people, but maybe we could talk. I just want to make a note out loud. Can we talk about this same thing in regards to the inner circle offline?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I actually on Saturday I applied it to one of my other inner circles.
Cool.
Here's how we're going to do this in this group, and then I emailed them all. But but yeah. So as a detailer, the main thing is you got to acquire clients. We've talked about this, I think, on the podcast, and that is most detailers are thinking, I got to get sales. I got to get my next detail. And it's looking at it the wrong way. You actually don't want just a detail. You want a client, because a client is someone who will come back to you over and over again, and you get to sell them more and more times. If all you're focused on is, I want to get a detail, just one detail, a wash and wax, a sealant, a coating, whatever, the problem is now I got to go get another client.
Right.
But if I got a client who's going to come back to me over and over again, it's that repeat business. That's what every business is after, is the repeat business. And so we all know that referrals are the best form of advertisement that's out there.
100%. The backbone of my company. I know that.
Yeah. So one of your client's friends is like, hey, I got to have my car detailed. And your client goes, hey, you got to talk to Jimbo. Well, then it's that's simple.
Right.
Okay. My friend already trusts Jimbo.
Right.
Let me go ahead and call this guy, and I'll have him detail my car. So the idea behind a referral strategy like this is you want to actually systematize it. So it's not enough just to say, hey, I appreciate your referrals. The real estate industry is horrible with this. Like,
because that's what they all say. Exactly that. I appreciate your referrals. And I'm like,
the serious form of a compliment is the referrals you send me, as if the consumer
knows what that even means.
About complimenting you, and on top of that is looking for the sincerest way they can compliment you. It's like, it's so out of their mind. But anyway, that's because I work a lot with real estate. Right. And I'm like always telling them, this is crazy, guys. Stop doing this. But here's the thing. If you systematize this, so, one simple way that you could systematize this, let's say, I'm just going to use some rough numbers here. Let's say a wash and a wax. What would you put that at?
Say $100, $99. Why not? $99.
So it's like, okay, what's the cost to acquire a client? If I look at a client and I go, okay, we talked about this before in some of the other episodes. Let's say at a minimum, they're coming back to me 3 to 4 times a year.
Right.
So I get a client 3 to 4 times a year. It's going to be $300 to $400
right.
that I'm going to make off of that client. Now, if we put some of the systems in place that you and I are always talking about, where we put them on monthly continuity, stuff like that, hey, maybe I can get $100 a month. Now it's $1,200 a year, but let's just take the 3 to 4 times a year average.
Right.
Go, okay, that's what they're worth. So what would you pay to acquire a $300 to $400 client? Well, usually when you think about it like that, it's like, well, I would actually, I would pay, pretty good money for
right.
that. But let's just say all you did was you had a business card and you just put, hey, referrals 10/10, $10/$10. And you hand it so you don't have it printed on your business card. You literally handwrite it on there, because that it's kind of like that whole thing with Gary Vee and the dude from Bar Rescue, and he's like, handwrite the chicken dinner.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
It's kind of like that same thing, right? You just handwrite it on the back of your business card, 10/10. Hey, look, I got a special referral program. You're going to have people who are going to look at your car and they're going to be like, man, your car looks amazing. I got a special referral program. Here's what it is. You give them this business card. You let them know to call me. I'm going to give them $10 on their detail, and I'll give you $10 in your account with me that we can put towards your next detail.
Right.
So now you look at that and you're like, okay, so it's going to cost me, and I use cost in quote marks because you're not paying cash, right?
Right.
It's going to cost you $20 to get that client, but really that means instead of getting $100 from the client, you're going to get 90. And from your own client, you're going to get 90.
This is the best especially for detailing. This is the best.
Right. But you don't put a limit on it like Elon Musk did. Be like, look, there's no limit. Because think about it. If they referred 10 clients to you and you had to detail their car for free, but you got, first of all, $1,000 from technically 900, right? Because you gave them all $10 off. So you got 900 from the other 10, but you got 900 3 to 4 times a year. Dude,
some serious money.
Would I sell your car for freaking 900 3 to 4 times a year? Of course I would.
100%.
And I mean, just a simple strategy that you can implement in your business.
And this is what, honestly, no one had, and I know I keep going back to this, but I think it's just because I feel like the veil has been lifted more and more and more every time we do an example like this, and the longer the inner circle goes on, and the more guys start implementing the things that we're showing them. It's like because the barrier to entry in this detailing industry is so low, it also comes along with the mindset of the here and now money, right? Mm-hmm. And so no one really has broken things down like this and said, look, it's actually really simple and I want to say unique to the detailing industry that you can really have a super profitable business. And boom, this is how you can do it. And this referral thing is just one more aspect of that. Of would you make 10 less bucks to make an extra 180 or whatever, or right. An extra 100, and sometimes people are so focused on, okay,
it also locks in your client too, right? Because they're like, I can't go to another detailer. I can't use that credit account that I've established with another detailer. He owes me $10 or $20 or $30 in services. Exactly. So I got to go back to him. So, it locks your clients in. It's brilliant, right?
It really is brilliant. You know who else? Square, the credit card processing company, has another app called Square Cash, similar to like a PayPal or something like that, where you could just send money quickly, right? And they run that promotion it's actually $5. It says invite friends and get $5, right? And so a guy that I turned onto it, or actually I told him, I don't know, somehow he took a screenshot of it and was like, hey, thanks for the $5. And I'm like, you're welcome. Because I referred him. And
did they do the thing where you got 5 and he got 5?
Yes. Let me
see. Why don't you tell everyone what your link is?
Yeah. Make it fun.
Is there a limit? Because, man, you got a listenership that could put you back to...
Yeah, I can't find it right now, but it's like, it's basically like, yeah, get $5 every time you refer a friend. Yeah, so my affiliate link for that.
Because I'm sitting here going, dude, I'm taking back to my other inner circle. I'm going to be like, hey, guys, you all need to use this to get paid by your clients. Because I want freaking $5, right? Like
$5 at a time.
$5 is like, it's not even much, but it's like, oh, you can give me $5, dude. I'm all about that.
So, right? You're like, hey, I could get rich $5 at a time. So let's think about this. For a detailer, say he goes out to a client's car, whether it's the first time or 500th time he's been there, and would you wait till he details the car, and then maybe after he goes, hey, I got this new referral program, here's this, your next detail, I'm going to give you $10 off, and then if you tell someone else, I'm going to give them $10 off too? Would you do it after the detail? Would you get it?
I do it after.
Okay, after the detail, seal.
Yeah, see, when I do my final walk around with the client and I'm showing them everything that I noticed in their car, problem areas that they need to watch for the future, things like that, I'd go, hey, by the way, I've also got this referral program, and that's when I'd take out, I'd probably give them about 5 business cards, and I would have that whole referral gets 10/10.
Okay.
And I would say, hey, you know what? Here, give these out to your friends. You'll want to put your name on there. If they give me this card or whatever, I'm going to give you 10, them 10. We'll put it in your account. And here's the other thing, too. When someone does refer you a client or, even a one-time deal, and this is something that I think a lot of people really overlook, you need to send them a thank you card.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Most people don't want to do it. It's like, oh, I got to write something. I know, right? It sucks. Okay. The mail. You don't mean like email? No, I mean a actual physical card. Like, you can't see it right now, but on my desk, I've got all these note cards, and I literally just every day I'm just taking them out. I write a quick little note. I have my assistant address it, stick it in the mail, send it out.
Easy.
Because it has a huge impact. Like, no one uses the mail anymore. It's actually one of the reasons why I love using the mail. But it stands out. Like, everyone emails or they text, and that's great for marketing. But you really want to make an impact on someone, you hand write a thank you card. Not even like send out cards, which is like automated handwriting. I mean, It's literally your handwriting on there. Like, hey, thanks for Bob. I had a great time working with them. You got $10 in your account. Pete, just send it off to them.
Right.
It's going to have a huge impact. In fact, I told you this week, I'm like, hey, look, dude, I just ordered a bunch of ones for the Detailer Inner Circle.
Yeah, so if you're in the Inner Circle, look out for it.
Yeah, I know. You're going to get a welcome card. I'm like, I don't know why I didn't do this. I was doing this for all my other groups, but for some reason it like slipped my head.
And they look good too. They look really good. I actually was going to do that one time. If you wanted to take it one step further, I haven't personally done this, but the thought was there, and the intent was there, is I was going to take a picture of the customer's car after I detailed it, right? Like try and take as good of a picture as I could, and then send them a card with their car on it. And then, and I think it was like send out cards or something like that. That kind of made it easier to do that. But you could honestly, they probably have an app. You could take the picture with your phone, upload it to the app, and probably send it directly from there. But I thought, that'd be kind of cool. Like, wow, their car on a card that says thank you. Again, same idea of just distancing yourself and separating you and making you stand out, from everyone else. So if you did that on top of offering a discount, that would be cool. Yeah.
Well, see, and here you actually bring up a good point. I always talk about you got to make it easy for people to refer you business. So just the fact that you have the program isn't enough.
Right.
It's like, how can we make this easy? So one of the things we talk about in Detailing for Profits is a strategy where, let's say I go to someone's home and I do their car. I'm also going to hit the neighbor on each side and the 3 directly across. I'm going to be like, hey, I was just over at Bob's house detailing his car. And we've actually got these letters that are already written out that basically the client, you can have your client sign, say, hey, Do you mind if I give this to your neighbors? This is what it would say. They read it and they're like, oh yeah, that's totally cool. Basically just introduces you, and then you've got a letter with it. We give you all this stuff in Detailing for Profits, which you can find at Detailing for Profits.
It's been a while. Thank you for reminding us.
Detailer-innercircle.com.
Yes.
And which, by the way, you will have to join the Detailer Inner Circle in order to get it for free.
And we have those killer consumer guides that actually, I didn't tell you this, Pete, but someone reached out and was like, hey, can I just get the consumer guides by themselves?
Yeah, $2,000. That's how much the program costs.
Yeah. It's a lot cheaper to join the Inner Circle. I told them, no, you have to join the Inner Circle.
I'd give it to him for $2,000.
Okay, so if you wrote in...
or join the Inner Circle for $100. It's up to you.
So if you wrote in asking if you could get the consumer guides, yes, you can. Write back in, and Pete will send you an invoice, and we'll get you squared away.
Because that's what the guys paid.
That's what they paid.
That's what they paid to get all that stuff.
Yep.
So, anyway, making it easy for people to refer... you could do that same thing. I didn't even think about it until you mentioned that. By the way, I really like the idea of taking a picture on their car.
You've given me enough stuff. You can steal that.
But I mean, that's a really good idea, though. It's really good.
It stands out a little bit more.
But yeah, you could actually go to each of the neighbors and be like, hey, by the way, we do have a referral program where, because you're a neighbor of Bob's, and Bob basically told me to come over here and introduce myself to you. If you decide to have your car detailed, you get $10, and so does Bob. So here's the information. So make it easy for people to refer you as well. That's why I say give them 5 business cards, write it on the back. Have those letters that we give you in Detailing for Profits. Probably just add a little line about the referral program,
right?
And the fact that they'll automatically get $10 off, and so is Bob going to get $10 because he referred you. I mean, oh my gosh, dude.
It's only $10, but think about it. People love free stuff. They love discount. It kind of draws them in, right? And this is a way of offering a discount without cheapening your service, which we talked about in a couple previous episodes of people don't get addicted to free. They get addicted to discounts. And that is really prevalent in the detailing industry. Every time they get slow, I'm guilty of it too. I've done it in the past. Every time I get slow, I discount the service. You know what I mean? And that's just it draws in the wrong clientele. Think about Groupon or Walmart and all that. It draws in the exact opposite clientele that everyone is working so hard for and striving for. But free is a different story. Yeah.
Well, and plus this is a first time customer acquisition thing. It's not like you get that every time. Oh, I'm still a friend of Bob's. Well, that's great, but this is it's a one-time deal. People aren't going to be jerks about that. They totally get it.
Right. And this is something that I'm just excited because it's something that I've never seen talked about. You know what I mean? I've never seen stuff like this.
Well, that's why in week 6 of Detailing for Profits, which you can find at Detailer&nbsp.com, we literally take the whole training. We go over I literally can't remember what it was, but it was 30 to 50 different referral strategies that you can implement in your business.
So if you're looking for more work, more business, you see gaps in your game, Detailer Inner Circle is where you're going to want to go. And you do have to watch a webinar to see if you're the right fit for it.
And you have to be cool, because if you're not cool...
I was going there. Going there because we have a really solid group of guys in there and gals. Julie and the other one's name that I can't remember at this moment. But there's a couple gals in there as well. That it's a really I'm getting weird about it, Pete, because I'm getting really overprotective over the group. And when you talked about that guy that was writing in and he was like, well, I'm definitely not a fit for the Inner Circle now, I was like, well, dude, we wouldn't have wanted you in the Inner Circle because we want to keep it cool. It's the worst and that topic even got brought up in the Voxer group, that people were like, well, what happens when it gets too big? Is this going to turn into one of those annoying Facebook groups? And it's like, no, because we have ultimate control, and guess what? One bad apple can ruin the bunch, and we'll kick you out.
Yep. We did that. We had that one accidental one where I thought somebody had joined because they're voxing me, and I threw them in there, and they're like, wait, what is this all about? And I was like, oh, man.
Oh, well, it happens. And you know what? Everyone's been real cool about rolling with some of the tech glitches that we've been dealing with, 25 emails last month.
Oh, jeez. And I'm on vacation when it happens. That was the worst part.
I'm texting you, Pete, where are you? Pete, I know you're on vacation, but Pete, you got to fix this.
My assistant, I think, because I told him like on Sunday, I'm like, hey, dude, monitor my email for problems that come up. And somebody had emailed in, and so he actually fixed it before I even saw any of that had happened.
Nice.
Like, unfortunately, not before people had emailed a bunch.
Well. So I do, and again, I've talked about this before, but I do feel like this inner circle thing is just the ultimate. It's the ultimate. I love it. Do you have anything else you want to add to that referral program? I think that's pretty hard.
That's enough, man.
Okay.
I think that's enough for them to take and just start to implement it, right? Just go use that idea, and you don't just have to wait for a client, right? So let's say right now, I mean, it's pretty hot out here in California, and I was in Nevada last week. It's really hot there, so I got to think there's plenty of business right now. But if you're slow, reach out to your old clients and tell them, hey, you know what? I got this referral program. Here's how it works, because I guarantee you, someone in your network knows someone else who needs to have their car detailed.
100%.
So reach out to them.
Love it, Pete. Thanks again.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's it. That was episode 295. Coming up on episode 300, and I gotta tell you, I just locked in someone I'm very, very, very excited to have on the show. He will be episode 300. I'm actually going to save it into a few. I haven't done the episode yet, but I'm actually heading to Pebble Beach, California, Carmel, Ventura area for Pebble Beach Car Week at the end of August here, and I will be doing the in-person recording with my special guest for episode 300. So check out for that one. I'm actually excited because I was a little nervous of like, okay, episode 300, that's a big show. I have no one lined up, and then this kind of just happened really spontaneously, so I'm excited for that, to bring you that episode. And guys, please at least check out the Detailerinnercircle.com. Honestly, I'm very, very passionate about this project, and actually getting more passionate as time goes on, and I see the results from the guys in the closed group, talk about it and the camaraderie and all that. We may even do a meetup at SEMA this year. There's been some talks about that, a little Detailer Inner Circle meetup. So you may want to get in before that for SEMA 2017, that would be. Anyway, Detailerinnercircle.com. There is a free video that you can watch at Detailerinnercircle.com, and we do give away free stuff at the end of that video, so make sure you check it out. Of course, if you have any problems watching the video or have any questions before whether you want to join or not, if it's the right fit, of course, I'm available. Reach out to me through Facebook's usually the easiest way to do that. And until next week, or maybe later this week, if I get a couple products that I ordered in, I'm going to start doing some more product reviews as well. So, without further ado, that's it, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.